Hello, morning. How are you today? How are you doing today? Good afternoon or good evening, whatever time it is. Welcome. How are you? I hope you're doing good. I hope everybody is doing good. So today's episode, I would like to talk about something else. I want to talk about something unique that no one talks about. I want to talk about this thing because over the experience of my life, I've seen it as a growing thing. Because let me tell you how it has journeyed so far. So years after years, I've been a religious person. I've grown into a Christian family. I was raised up by Christian schools. I've gone to Christian schools. I've been interested in religion. Once in my lifetime, I think it was in grade 3, I wanted to change into another religion, but due to my parents and my guardians, they advised me not to change into my religion. I was a young kid. I was easily persuaded by the teachers. I went to a certain place where the teachers convinced me that I should enter their religion. I said, okay, I'll enter my religion. Even my parents have allowed, not knowing that my parents have not allowed. So that tomorrow, the day after today, so tomorrow, I went to school. So the teachers of that religion told my parents that I've changed into that religion. So when my parents heard of that, wow, they were really angry with me. They asked me, why do I want to change religion? And I was born into a Christian family and all those things. So I didn't get the opportunity to change the religion. And one way or another, I thank God for that, because I didn't change my religion. Because if I changed my religion, I don't know which path of life I would have taken. But at least now, this path of life that I've taken, it at least where I am at today, it's somewhere where I can appreciate and say that with no regrets, and because I've come to learn the truth time and time again. I've come to know the truth about the religion that I am in now. But when I was all these long years until I reached 18 years, I've never been interested so much in religion. I was just a passerby hearing things, but I was always serious with the Bible or with things concerning God. I was always serious. I never took anything for granted about God, because even in doing praise and worship songs, I used to do praise and worship song. Yes, I used to be a naughty boy, but when it comes to God, I didn't give any chance when it come to God, because I respected God, and I knew where God has taken me from. And the people usually say, even the most bad people in this world, they, no matter who you are, always respect God, because God is the ultimatum. You can be disrespectful to everyone, everywhere, everyone, but one thing you should always do is respect God. God is the creator. That man is the most feared. You should give him all the respect that man deserves. So after finishing my school, plus 18 years old and above, I started enjoying life. Things happen in my life which took me into another part, and another path, which I studied religion so much that now I'm here and aware of the world today and what religion helps in the world. Religion has been very useful in this world, and we are shaped here today because of religion. Without religion, this world will be in chaos, because religion and the Bible is, it's just a light of the world which guides beyond our human law. We back it up by religion, because even when you go to the human law where they say do not kill a person or you'll be jailed 60 years, if that wasn't in the Bible, where it says the human killing is wrong, then killing also in the human law and the government wouldn't be an issue, because but by they always refer to the Bible. The Bible is the backbone of everything. All these people who grew up as lawyers and everything, they first studied the Bible, and they are here today making laws according to what the religion is. So religion is it's a backbone of our society, and everybody depends on religion. So I took this path and studied this religion very well, and I saw the things that religion has helped the world and the things that religion has affected the world, because religion has also divided the world so much. Religion has been issued because there are so many religions in the world. So let me cut this story short, because today I didn't want to talk about religion. Today I wanted to talk about this book called Revelation. Revelation is a book of the ending of the Bible, which talks about the things that will come to man when in the future, the things that will come to man. And this book of Revelations was given 2,000 years ago, after the death of Jesus Christ, is when the book of Revelation was given to John, a person called John in an island in Patmos. He was given this vision, and he saw things. This vision of John, it's more similar to a book of Daniel. And this vision of John, of Revelation, it talks about the future events that will be coming to man, that will happen to man. So this book is the most not talked about and the most avoided book in the Bible, because it is full of symbols and parables which people cannot understand, and which people have problems. Even great pastors cannot understand. But the Bible says great things will be hidden from the wise and prudent, and they will be revealed to the young and babe and suckling. That's what the Bible says. Great things will be hidden to these big people, but it will be revealed to the young people, because they are more light-hearted and they are ready to accept what it is, and they know what it is. But the grown-up people, their mind is clogged and filled with many things. So even when you read the Bible, Jesus says that when the Pharisees and everybody who is guarding who is on the forefront of fighting for God, the pastors, they don't know anything. They are the ones, they get keepers of the world, and they're the ones who deny people entry, and even themselves, they won't enter into heaven because they don't understand. They just mislead people. So Revelation is the most part which I can say that leads to the misinterpretation of Revelation, is the dependent of other people's sayings and people's interpretation of the Revelation. If people who have depended on their own part of interpreting the Revelation, it would have been easier. But Revelation is being interpreted by people, then it is forwarded for people to interpret them as they have interpreted before. So all these years we have been clinging on the interpretation of the people who brought us the Bible. So we have been interpreting the Bible according to what they told us, instead of us taking the Bible and viewing it in our own way, because we view them as superior, because they were the first ones to be handed the Bible to. But even if they were the first ones to be handed the Bible to, you should remember also the Bible is given to everybody. It doesn't choose who and who. So it is your right to interpret the Bible the way you want, and the way you will feel like to see, and the way your spirit is revealed. Sorry. The way your spirit reveals it to you. So don't lean on some people's misunderstandings and some people's interpretations of the Bible. Let your spirit tell you this is the right way, and if you depend on yourself, this will be a better way and a nice path for you to have the full revelation and the full meaning of the revelation. So revelation is just something, a path that somebody shows you, but you have to take it on your own, because No one will take you through this book and tell you this and this and this. You have to read it and understand it on your own. So Revelation, as it starts, Revelation chapter 1. Chapter 1, it says very well that this revelation is given to John for him to see the things that will be fulfilled in the future. All the things that are in Revelations are things that will be coming in the future. So nothing that is written in the Revelation is the past or is the present. They're the things that will be coming in the future. So everything that is in Revelation is in the future. And this is a keyword that everyone should mark when they're reading the Revelation, because if you get out of topic and think this is the past or the present, because I've seen many people interpreting it the wrong way because they think it is the past. Sorry. Many people have been thinking it is the past and they have been interpreting it the wrong way. But if you mark the keyword and know it has been written, everything that happens in this book is the future, the things that will be coming. So everything that you read in the Revelations, nothing is the past, everything is the future, which will happen. That is the keyword which I have learned to look on reading the Revelation. So everything, that's why many people, the book of Revelation is not being able to be interpreted and being able to be coded or being able to be decoded, because people interpret it the wrong way. And it is very simple when you read the beginning of Revelation. The beginning of Revelation says these are the things that will happen in the future. So be careful when reading it and interpreting it as the past. It should always be interpreted as the future. So when you read the book of Revelation, when it starts, Jesus says this is the things that will come in the future. When you go down there, Revelation chapter 1, still around verse 10 and going onwards, we see a vision of Jesus Christ. That vision of Jesus Christ, they describe Jesus Christ as a person who has a sword coming out of his mouth. He has flaming eyes. He has legs like bronze color. Bronze color is a color which bronze color is more of a color like this. This is the type of bronze color. Bronze color is usually brown color. If you can look it up at Google, you'll see the color of bronze. Bronze color is it's like a brown color, dark brown color. And also the hair of his head was wool, white wool, and white wool is white. White wool is just white, like the wool of a sheep. That is white wool. So Jesus is described in that way. And many people have interpreted this description of Jesus as a black man or somebody who is dark figure. But many people also say this is the spiritual interpretation of Jesus. But I don't know what bronze legs will be meaning spiritually. But the sword that comes out of his mouth, that could be spiritual. But the bronze leg, I don't think that is spiritual. I don't think at all. The hair of his head is wool showing, and the head of his hair being wool, and also connecting with his feet being bronze, because at least if it was spiritual, one description of his will be disconnected from another. But this bronze legs and wool hair connects very well with the typical black person or a black being. So at least even if it was spiritual, then the bronze, he will have bronze leg, then another type of hair. But why does he have the same full description as a typical black man? I don't know. But what I can say on my part, which I think is maybe is a typical black man, which he has bronze legs, the color of his skin is bronze, the color of his hair is white as wool. The wool of a hair of a sheep, you know it very well. And out of his mouth comes a sharp sword. A sharp sword also, this description of Jesus is also the same as the description of Jesus in Daniel. So Daniel has the same description of Jesus, and Daniel and and Revelation are almost the same, because all of these books talk about the coming in the future, what will happen in the future when things are the world has changed and the world has have lack have lacked the knowledge of God. And also Daniel says knowledge will increase, and this will result also into many things. As we see here in the world today, a lot of knowledge have increased. So the book of Revelation goes into chapter 2. Chapter 2 is a warning of things, and also to people, different churches. Chapter 3 also warning to different churches. And chapter 4, chapter 5, I think there's a chapter there, I think it is chapter 5, where it talks about it is in heaven, where a person is, where God, the people are weeping in heaven. They're asking God, 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 why is this happening? God, 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 who we are in tribulations. And then there's a scroll where people are unable to open the scroll. Then there's a sound in heaven which says, do not weep, for the Lion of the tribe of Judah has conquered and has been able to open the scrolls and to reveal the seals that are written in that scroll. That scroll, no one has been able to open except the Lion of the tribe of Judah, who has triumphed and has been able to open the scrolls. So as you see, this chapter explains that everyone in the world, both heaven and earth, no one was being able to open that scroll and look what and read the content that is in the scroll. So what I think this scroll is about, this scroll is also it is the Bible. No one has been able to read the Bible and reveal what is written in the Bible and see the true meaning of the Bible, except the Lion of Judah, who has triumphed and conquered and revealed all what is in the scroll and the true meaning of the scroll. No one was worthy, both heaven and earth. So this Lion, the tribe of Judah, is called the Lamb. The Lamb is a slain lamb which was removed as a sacrifice, so it can be able to open the scrolls, and it was the only thing that was found worthy. To me, this lamp to me, because as we read in the beginning of Revelation, it says all these things will happen in the future. All these things that are written in the Revelation are things that will happen in the future. So even this story of the lamp, it's things that will happen in the future, but many scholars misinterpret it and say this is when Jesus Christ was crucified and killed for blood. But I think I can dispute that, because in the beginning of the Revelation, it says everything that we read here, it will happen in the future, and it isn't the past or present. Everything that is in Revelation should be looked at a point that everything happens in the future. So Jesus, the lamp, was worthy. Also, in other terms, Jesus, because the lamp, we refer it as Jesus. But later on in this video, I'll explain more why I say Jesus. But right now, you may not understand why I say it as Jesus, but let me say it as Jesus. This is Jesus who opened the lamp and the scrolls and has been able to read the contents in the scroll, and no one was worthy to read these scrolls and open it. Even the elders in heaven, also the 24 elders. So when this lamp opened the scroll and had been able to see the contents that are in the scrolls, all the 24 elders in heaven bowed down to this lamp and started worshiping and started saying, worthy is to God, praises be to God. So this lamp had been able to triumph, and we are told this lamp is from the tribe of Lion of Judah, the conquering lion. As we see in Genesis says and promises when Jacob is giving blessings to his children, he tells Judah, out of you, you're like a lion, a young lion, and I give you a blessing. Who dare arouse you, because you're like a lion? Who dares arouse you? The one who dares arouse a lion? Because if you arouse a lion, you know what will happen. Because when you play with fire, you prepare to get burnt. Who dare arouse Judah? Because he's a lion. And it gives Judah prophecy and tells him, you are the you in your generation the scepter of leadership will not leave the lineage of Judah. Judah will always be the leaders of this generation, the tribe of Judah. So Jacob gives this blessing to Judah, and that's why it is always referred by the term the Lion of Judah. If you were asking yourself why is all the time Jesus referred as to the Lion of Judah, this comes back in the book of Genesis around chapter 49, where it says the Lion of Judah is where Jacob blesses his sons and give that title to his son Judah. His fourth son is Judah. He gives him that title and tells him a time will come where a person will rise up who will take up the scepter of leadership, and it will never leave the lineage of the tribe of Judah. And also we see in the book of, I think it's Exodus or something like that, where it says a star will arise from the tribe, and this star will be a great star, which this star is also Jesus Christ, this star which refers to Jesus. We see many references in the Bible where Jesus Christ is prophesied. Also in Micah about Bethlehem is prophesied he will be born in Bethlehem, he will lead the world. Is prophesied also in Isaiah. He's prophesied also in many books in the Bible. He's prophesied, but this prophecy that has been happening in the Bible, the prophecy says he will be born and he will do certain things from when he is born. When you look at Micah, it says Jesus will be born in Bethlehem and he will lead people when he is born in Bethlehem. You just look, because all this time it gives Jesus will be born. And as we'll have looked in the past, Jesus left without leading us or giving us his power or building his kingdom, but he left when he died, but he left us with the Bible, which is his word. And that is one thing that we appreciate it for, but some of these prophecies mainly and clearly states that Jesus will be born, and when he is born, he will rule the world through that lineage. So when we passed forward in other chapters, like starting from chapter 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think there's a chapter there in between. I don't know if it's chapter 12. So there in between chapter 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, these are the scrolls that are being opened. It states scrolls are being opened. So these scrolls are being talked about, like this and this happens, earthquakes in the world, the water turns into wormwood, people can't drink this water because it's so bitter, and also half of the stars fell down on earth. So these are all symbols and of people, but when you look at the world, nothing like this has happened, because most people are blind. But then when you look at half of the stars have fell from the sky, but when I ask you what stars can you see have fell out of the sky, but you won't be able to tell me that, because you can't see any star that has fallen out of the sky. But you see, this book of Revelation, it was just a present which was handed to us. It was a present, and for it being a present, it was encoded and it was wrapped. Because when I bring for you a present with it showing its content, it won't be a present. A present should be wrapped. So when I give it to you, you'll be able to open it and see what it is. So the book of Revelation is just a present which has been wrapped with symbols and also things where it was given to us human beings, so we can look at it, and when we unwrap it and see its full contents, what it talks about, is when we'll be happy and know that God is truly there, but it was given to us just like a normal present. It is upon our responsibility to open it and to see what God has in store for us. So these things in the Bible, that's why many pastors haven't been able to reveal what it means, because they are not worthy. As I explained what happened in chapter what happened to the lamb, because no one was found worthy to read this book or to open these scrolls, which is the book of Revelation, and to see what it contains and see what it really means to the world and to everybody. No one was worthy except the lamb and the lion of tribe of Judah to open the book of the scrolls. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just saying, past all this time you have been living with lies of pastors who haven't been able and who are not worthy to open the book of Revelation and to see and to reveal what it truly means in the book of Revelation. All this time no one was worthy. So that's why pastors, we have been living in a deluded world where we think this book of Revelation means a certain type of way. People will come out of heaven and start killing people. Stars will be falling from left and right, and from center also stars will be falling. But that isn't the true meaning of the explanation of Revelation, because it couldn't be the true meaning, because people who read it are not worthy to see the true meaning of the contents that are in the book of Revelation. Even the pastors who are high and ordained, who people think they are the true pastors, they are not worthy. That's why when they give you the explanation of the book of Revelation, the explanation is wrong, completely wrong. There's one thing that will clash with another, which is completely wrong. And if you question these pastors, the problem will be you, because I've gotten some people who told me that one day they went to a pastor and questioned him, oh, why does Jesus' description is like this in the Bible? That pastor also condemns them. And there are so many things that people have been able to question these pastors, and pastors condemn them because it is beyond their understanding. And if it is beyond their understanding, for them not to accept the mistake, they throw it on the other side and condemns people, and tell people they are the ones who are on the wrong, instead of them accepting their mistake. So when you fast forward to all these chapters, they explaining what is happening to the world. Stars will fall down. Then there's another chapter that says a rider will come out of the earth. 3 riders, one is in white, who will conquer and conquer and conquer. The second rider is death and heads. The third rider is waging scales of war, and the other rider is in famine. So these riders, there are 4 riders in a white horse, a red horse, a black horse, and a black horse. These all riders are revealed in Revelation chapter 6. You can just look at chapter 6, you'll see all these riders revealed in this Revelation. So in when you go forward, you see Revelation chapter forward, you see stars falling down from heaven, things happening in the world. So stars falling down from heaven is just basically an explanation. If you just look right now into the sky at night, there's no star visible. But when it used to be a long time ago, when I was a small kid, many stars were in the sky. But because due to urban development, stars in the sky disappeared, because there was too much light on the earth that it made the skies in heaven disappear. And this is one reason that it can be taken into the Bible, and it is just like a parable in the Bible. For it says half of the stars in the sky will disappear and fall down on earth. So this, when you go with an aeroplane or search also in the internet and you see the overview of a city or the world at night, you'll see little dots which are on the earth, which are the lights which we use for our own navigation during the night. These lights, when you look it up to the sky, they look like stars in the world. So this meaning of half of the stars from heaven fell down to earth, this can be the street poles lights, which when you go above the world, you'll see it as stars. These are the stars. This book of Revelation, John says, in that time, half of the stars, so this time that we are experiencing right now, it is where half of the stars have fallen down from heaven and are on our earth. Because long time ago they used there were no bright light in the earth. This the stars have the light at darkness has been replaced with these street poles. So when you see street poles at night, they look as like stars. When you look at them in heaven, they look like stars. So basically, what John tries to tell us is that this is the end. We are in the end times, because half of the stars in the sky have fallen. There are no stars in the sky. Half of the stars are on Earth right now. So, but many people don't understand. We are in the final time. So you see John being shown these signs and wonders. He was also a primitive person. It's like when you are taken right now into 20 20 uh, 20 or 2500 years ahead of you. You see the technology that has advanced. You'll be able to explain it in a different manner according to what you saw it, but your brain hasn't fully developed to see how it is. So when John was 2000 behind and comes and sees what is happening in 2000 right now, he'll say these cars are like donkeys moving at a very fast rate, because it's 2000 years ago. But when they see it right now, as we view it as cars, as things which are normal. So it is both a symbol to John and also a symbol to us, because it was interpreted by John, a person who didn't know. But if it was interpreted by you who were given the vision, you will say, you saw street lights in the earth, half of the stars have fell down on earth. And another explanation of the things that were happening in Revelation is the water became bitter for human beings to drink. As you see right now, and half of the rivers have dried up. So there's a star that fell on the earth which made the water become bitter. The star is called wormwood. So this star that fell on the earth is called wormwood, which made the water become bitter. When you look at the cities in the world, 100 years before today, this water used to be fresh water, but right now, due to pollution and due to a lot of human activities happening, this water has become polluted. And becoming polluted, we are not being able to drink water that is in the river. These waters have been polluted, and we can't drink water that comes from the river. That's why it is written in Revelation that all this happened and polluted the water that is, we are not being able to drink water. This is in the future. This, as we read from the beginning of Revelation, it says all these things will happen in the future. So everything that is happening in Revelation is the future, and this right now here is the future, because a lot of years have gone. And also the book of Revelation explains about the Antichrist and so much things about the Antichrist, which I'll share with you in time right now, which is in chapter 13 of the coming of the Antichrist. They will explain, and also there are more stories about the countries and why we're experiencing war right now in the world, and they'll explain things which you'll relate to and see these are the things they are truly happening in the world, like the fight of Russia and Ukraine. It is also mentioned in the Bible, and also many more things which are yet to come. And this is at this moment they are being fulfilled, because when Jesus was leaving his disciples, and he told them, watch out, for false prophets are coming who will delude and mislead people, even the people who are learned, they will mislead them. So all this time Jesus gave a warning and told people how the end times will be. There will be earthquakes, there will be great turmoil, people will suffer, there will be famine, there will be pestilence. But Jesus doesn't mention about stars falling down from heaven. He mentions the normal things. So the book of Revelation should be taken as normal things, and we should put the picture as normal things, but not abnormal things like stars falling down from heaven. These all are symbols hidden from people's eyes. Only the chosen and the only people who can see the true meaning of it can reveal it, because what will be the worth of something if it doesn't have a value? It should have a value so that it can be worthy. Things which have values are worthy. Things which are rare to see are the ones that have value. So when you forward in front of, as I explained what happened, the half of the stars fell down from the sky. This is what I told you. And the water, which is also nini, water becoming bitter. And also there are a lot of things that in Revelations which they're just normal things: famine, pestilence, diseases which you have experienced, corona, many diseases you have experienced. So in chapter 12 it states a woman. Chapter 12 is another chapter. This full chapter is basically upon a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, where she is giving birth. And this, when she's giving birth, the devil is there. It says the dragon. The dragon is basically the devil in Revelation. The dragon is ready to devour the child. When it is ready to devour the child, the child, the child was saved, and the child was pushed into the God's throne, and the child was basically in the God's throne. So Revelation says it starts like a woman is delivering, then the dragon comes to devour the child which this woman is giving birth. And the Bible explains that this child is the one who is going to rule over the world with the rod of iron and a scepter. So this child is basically from chapter 1 and chapter 19. They all have relations of this child, because he is the one who is going to rule the world with an iron scepter and an iron rod. So who is going to rule the world? So a person who is going to rule the world, this child basically is Jesus Christ, because we all know that Jesus Christ is the one who is going to rule the world. So this woman giving birth to this child is basically, she is giving birth to Jesus Christ. Many scholars have interpreted this as Mary, the mother of Jesus, giving birth to Jesus, which was in the past, but I dispute that, because Revelation beginning, it says very well that these are the things that will happen. So Revelation 12 also, this is something that will happen. This woman will give birth to a child, a normal birth, the normal life process, giving birth, not anybody coming out of heaven. It is just the normal life birth process, where Jesus is given birth to this woman, who is the woman grows up. And what Revelation 12 says, this woman will be taken to a desert, where this desert should be fed for times and times and times of number of times, and also will be with this child. So the dragon was furious of the woman, because it couldn't devour her child, because the child was saved. So the dragon went up to the woman and to finish her. So the dragon threw water to the woman, where the earth, the world, saved the woman and swallowed up the water that the dragon had threw up to the woman. So the desert is a symbol of, it's not supposed to mean desert, the real symbolic meaning of desert. The desert is a symbol of trouble, where a desert is somewhere a place can go through tribulations. You can be hungry, go through temptation, as you saw in Jesus Christ. Jesus went into the desert, and is where he had temptations, a lot of temptations. So a desert is where a person can go through tribulation. So this woman was taken to a desert, where she went undergone through many tribulations. And we see in Revelation 12 where it says that Satan tried to bring havoc in heaven, where the archangel Michael threw down Satan and brought him to earth. So Satan started, the dragon now started deceiving the world, because his time was short. It clearly states in Revelation that his time is short. So he started bringing havoc in the world. As you see right now, there are a lot of havoc in the world, because Satan's time is short. So he's doing everything as that he can, so that he can bring so many people to the ground to bring so many people with him. So so this is what we read from Revelation 12, and that's why I dispute that this is not Jesus coming out from heaven, because we are told in Revelation chapter 1 that all these things will happen in the future. So that's why people misinterpret this Revelation 12 and say this is when Jesus was born. But we look at Revelation 1 and we have been told that all these things will happen in the future. So even including Revelation 12, a woman giving birth to a person, a male child who will rule the world with an iron scepter, is basically telling us that it will be a normal birth process in Revelation 12. It won't be like any skipping. Everything that happens in Revelation is the things that will happen in the future, even including Revelation 12. So let's jump to Revelation chapter 13. Chapter 13, it clearly states that there's a beast who comes out from the earth. This beast, he is given power and dominion, but this beast has a wound on his head, a mortal wound on his head. Then a second beast comes out of the earth, which looks like a lamb and a lion, and which speaks blasphemous words. So this second beast was given power by the first beast, so that it can make for it an image for so that people on the world may follow the first beast and worship the first beast. So the first beast is basically a figure or a demon. The first beast is a demon, but the description of the second beast, this is where Revelation makes people confused, this because it's the same meaning of one person with the same description of something with two different meaning. Because when you look at like a beast, the first beast is a really beast. The second beast is not a beast, because the second beast is just a human being who has been given power to make the first beast an image where people will worship the first beast. This second beast is basically a man, a normal human being, and the second beast is a false prophet, which gives power to the second beast. And what I've researched and known about the first beast, the first beast is there was a story. Let me take you back to a story which happened in the time of Elijah, when he was battling the prophets of Baal, where he put the prophets of Baal Elijah put fire and told the prophets of Baal, make this firewood light up with fire. The prophets of Baal prayed, but they weren't able to light up the fire. So what Prophet Elijah did, he told the people, pour water on the firewood, and I will call to God and see who is the true God. So people poured water on the firewood, so that it will make it damp and difficult for it to light. So Elijah just called God once, and the fire arose out of the wet firewood. So, and by this, it gave Elijah victory over the other prophets of Baal, and where Elijah ordered the other prophets of Baal to be beheaded because they were worshiping a false god. So this first beast is basically the person prophet of Baal, because it says it had a mortal wound which was healed. This Baal prophet, this is the same Baal which battled with Elijah. So this second beast had been given power, as it's the prophet of this prophet of Baal, and to give this Baal power, and to praise it, and to create for it an image where people will praise the image. We see it in Revelation 13. So people will worship this image, and this image will be able to speak and talk and command people to worship it. But we look at this situation, and people are waiting for the Antichrist to come. But what people don't know, and I want to shock you, that Antichrist had already come. The Antichrist was there very long time ago, because the Antichrist is Muslims. Muslims and Islam are basically the Antichrist, because Prophet Muhammad is the one who deceived people and created an image for the beast, for the first beast. So Prophet Muhammad is the second beast who creates an image for the first beast. So Prophet Muhammad created an image. This many people are wondering what this image is. This image is basically the this image is basically something which Prophet Muhammad created this image as, which this image will be able to speak and give commands to people so that this bird should be worshipped and looked as a god. This so many people are wondering what could be this image. What is this image? What is this image? So let me explain what the image is that is able to speak. Prophet Muhammad made an image which is the Quran. Quran is the image representing the Baal prophet, the first beast. The Quran also speaks. It has words which make people worship this beast and bow down and worship. This Quran is the image of the first beast. When you read the Quran, you see everything about this beast, which is Allah. Allah is the beast which Prophet Muhammad wrote about the beast, and Prophet Muhammad is basically the Antichrist. So this Quran speaks and tells people to bow down and worship the beast. And the Quran also states that if you don't worship this beast, you will be beheaded. If anyone doesn't worship this beast, they will be beheaded. How many Christians and how many people who have clinged to the word of Jesus have been beheaded by Muslims and Islam? Many people have been beheaded by Muslims and Islam. They come to them and ask them that, do you accept Jesus as your personal savior, or do you accept Allah? When you accept Allah, they leave you alone and convert you to their religion, and there you become a follower and start worshiping their God. And if you if you refuse to be a Muslim, they behead you. How many people in history have been beheaded by Muslims? Many people have been beheaded by Muslims, and the Muslims have been created chaos and claim that they are from God, and they claim that if you behead a person and if you die for the Muslim religion, you go to heaven. But this is wrong. They have been beheading a lot of Christians, and if they are the true religion of God, why does God apply violence? And there is nowhere in the Bible that God uses violence for Christians, for him to be glorified. So all this time it has been a delusion. Why do God kill people? And if you ask the Muslims, they say, it is not that, but their prophet is the one who wrote it in the Bible and promises them virgins in heaven for them to be for if you die as a martyr, you have virgins in heaven. I'm sorry for my brother who are Muslims, but this is a mistake to you, and you have killed a lot of Christians and many people, and I'm sorry to say this, but that has been wrong, and many Christians have suffered on your hands. That is the truth, and that is the truth of the matter, and that is how it has happened. Because how many Christians have killed you and claimed that God has sent them to kill you? No Christians, but the Quran is the image of the beast, which encourages people to be beheaded and be cut. And if you search the internet, there are many videos of people being beheaded by jihadists for the religion of Islam. There are many people. So long story short, there is more explanation to this story. So Revelation chapter 13 basically says that, and people will receive a mark of the beast, which is 666, and the name of the second beast, which is the name of Aman. This name of the second beast is Muhammad. People will receive his name, which is 666. And when you bow down too much and worship Allah, when you bow down too much, you appear over here a black spot, which is a mark which clearly indicates that you're a die-hard Muslim and you've been worshipping the Baal prophet, and also you've been worshipping the devil. When you bow down too much, you worship a black spot appears on your head. And if a black spot appears on your head. So cut long story short, that is what Revelation 13 talks about. Revelation 14, 15, it's also the recurrence of the scrolls that have been opened. So they have the first scrolls which is open, something happens. The second scroll something happens. The third scroll, something happens. It's just the recurrence of what the other chapter 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10 have been talking about. These are more scrolls and things, trumpets. Now this is trumpets being blown, and people are being told this and this and this will happen. A lot of people will be murdered. Things like locust, war. This is just war. Basically, what has been said in the chapter 6, 7, and 8 in Revelation. So when we read forward at chapter 11, chapter 18, 17, I think it's chapter 17, where it says that there's a woman who was riding on the beast. This woman is riding on the horns of the beast. So this beast has, as I explained before, what the beast is. So this woman is riding on the beast, and she's clothed in purple, and the city of the woman is surrounded by 7 hills. Many people have interpreted these 7 hills as the Rome Catholic Church, which is surrounded by the hills, but it is not the Rome Catholic Church, because if you look at countries which are surrounded by the hills, there's another country which is surrounded by the hills, which is Moscow. Moscow, which is in Russia, is surrounded by by hills. Moscow in Russia, just look it up, and Moscow, Russia has many billionaires. If you compare to any country in the world, Moscow in Russia has many billionaires, which have been profited by oil and everything that comes from Russia. Russia is a leading producer of oil, many things, diamond, mineral oils, food. Also, Russia, we get them there from them, which before that Ukraine was a part of them. So it basically says this woman rules over the kings of the earth. So when you look at very well at this, you see this woman being described as she lives where in a country where it is surrounded by 7 hills, basically, which is Moscow. So this woman who is clothed in a purple and scarlet, it is not Rome, which people think it is Rome, which she's riding on the earth. So it says this woman corrupted the world with her treasures and a lot of things, which we basically call it as Babylon. So this woman is Russia. This woman is Russia because Russia leads the country with a lot of wealth, and produces oil, the things that I've mentioned, diamonds, gold. A lot of things come out of Russia, and also a lot of sheep. So this woman had corrupted the world with a lot of things. And basically why I'm saying it is Russia, because Russia in 1900s and before that also has led, there have been more deaths of Christians in Russia, because Christians have been killed, have been beheaded, have been tortured in Russia. A lot of Christians have suffered a lot in Russia. There was a time in 1920s, 1930s where more than 30 million Christians died in Russia. They were killed by the president, and that time it was the Soviet Union. So Russia has been a forefront of killing Christians and persecuting Christians, and Christians have been persecuted all over the world. And it's just a simple test where when you see the right people are always persecuted. That's why you see in somewhere in Revelation, it tells the saints tell God, when is our time where we will win this victory and become victorious? God tells them, just wait a little while so the blood could be filled, so he can gain his vengeance on people. So Christians have been crying, why do the bad people keep on triumphing over us? Why do they kill us? So Islam have been killing Christians, and God tells them, just wait. Your time for victory is coming to near, when you guys will win the battle. Those people who have been suffered in the hands of ISIS, in hands of Al-Shabaab, hands of Al-Qaeda. Your time will come where you'll win over this war. So Russia has killed a lot of Christians, more than 40 million more Christians have died in Russia, a lot. And that's why in Revelation chapter 17, it says that this woman, she's the one who is riding on the beast, and she's the one who is ruling over the world. As you look right now over the world, she rules over the kings of the world. As you look right now in the world, there's nothing like kings. Right now in the world, we have presidents. So this is something else which is also a parable, because there's no time we have kings. Kings were a long time ago. Right now we have presidents. So don't mistake for you waiting for a king to appear, but this is a right time to look for presidents as kings. So the Bible couldn't say presidents, basically presidents, because when people name people as presidents, you'll know the time is right now. People start repenting, but it had to be hidden, so it could find you unaware. It could find you not knowing. You just waiting for kings to come so you can start repent. But the kings are the presidents in the Bible. Presidents are basically kings in which were said in Revelation. So they say this woman heads these kings of the world, which are the presidents. So what it basically says that this woman, the kings of the world will turn against this woman and devour her and burn her up. As we see right now, what is happening to Russia. Russia is, many countries in the world have turned against Russia, including USA, UK, Western countries have turned against Russia, and they are destroying Russia. And Russia, it doesn't look like it will survive this war, because many resources have been given to Ukraine, and if Russia could have survived this war, it could have survived in the first 6 months of this war. But for this war to take this long, and it is just a small country like Ukraine, where you take over this country within 3 days, which was 3 days or 3 months, which was the estimated time for Russia to take over this country of Ukraine. And then now the war has taken more than these 6 months, and this war is not just a typical war. This war is a spiritual war, but our leaders are hiding this from us and not telling us, but this was put in their hearts for them to fulfill this. So the war in Russia is basically people who are Russia will be brought down by these other countries. So when you look at the internet and do some research, you'll see Russia is recession. Russia has had its first recession since 1914. Russia has defaulted its first loan since 1914. So these Western countries are bringing down Russia, which was predicted in the Bible in Revelation chapter 17, where it says this woman, the kingdoms of the earth will turn against this woman and devour her and strip her of her clothes and make her burn her up completely. This is what Western countries are trying to do. They're trying to burn up Russia, but they don't know what they are doing. They think they are doing it for their interest, but this is the fulfillment of the prophecy. So chapter 18, that is what happens, and we see this woman is burned up and she is completely finished. So this is basically what will happen to Russia. The Russia will be burnt down, and there will be no more country like Russia, because people thought Russia will win, but people are aiding so much on Ukraine. Ukraine is right now is basically winning the battle. People are taking this advantage to attack Russia through Ukraine. So people are aiding Ukraine not because they love Ukraine, but because they want Russia to be put down. But if it was for another country, they wouldn't be helping Ukraine. But because it's Russia, they want to put it down, because it is the time for Russia now to go down. And that's why we're experiencing a lot of problems in the world. High cost of fuel, a lot of things happen in the world. So the time is basically near, and the time is basically up. So in Revelation, also we see there in Revelation 18, where it says the lamp, which was mentioned in chapter 4, 5 of there, which I explained to you. The lamp, Revelation 12, which is the woman, and Revelation chapter 1 and chapter 19. The lamp is basically one person, but they always say lamp, lamp, lamp. They all say the lamp, the lamp, the lamp. So in in Revelation chapter 17, there are, after this story of this woman being devoured by her people, this lamp is basically, they say that the nation of the world will come and wage war against the lamp, and the lamp will triumph over the people, the nations which have come to wage war against it. So the lamp is basically Jesus Christ, as I said before, and you will see it a similarity in Revelation chapter 19, where it says that Jesus is John receives a vision, which I'll explain it earlier. So they say in Revelation chapter 17, they say the lamp will triumph over people, because the nations of the world and the kingdoms of the world will come against the lamp. So in Revelation chapter 19, when we go forward, we skip chapter 18. Chapter 18 is basically talking about the kingdom of Babylon just finishing up. The kingdom of Babylon, people weeping, saying, oh, this kingdom has lasted. Oh, these people are weeping. They're saying, oh, great kingdom of Babylon, we thought it won't finish, but it is finished. The great kingdom we thought will reach 2060. Oh, the great kingdom is now done. It's burning up. People are weeping and wailing. So this is just, do you remember the time of Corona in 2019? The people of the world thought they were so great, and they thought there's nothing, and these systems of oppression of the world thought there is nothing that which can hinder them. But due to this thing called Corona, it brought people down. It brought many systems down. It brought many of these developed countries so down, because just a simple thing like Corona made a lot of people die. But right now, we live in life the normal way, but we wonder what was killing these people during this time of Corona. The people, because many people lost their lives. Do you remember when people were doing mass graves? There were no more coffins for people to bury. Many people were dying. So the time of Corona made this system of the world, which is basically talked about in Revelation 19, to be weak. So right now the world is weak. And also the story of Russia fighting, the oil prices change, there's stiffness in the world. We are just living in insecurity. So Revelation 18 basically says the Babylon is crushed, and this is what is basically coming to us, because right now the world's economy, it's very shaky. The world's economy are not right now. Many people are exhausting their resources aiding the war in Russia. So this will basically bring down the downfall of the system of the world, and this will be a great shock to a lot of people. So in Revelation 19, what we see is that it states clearly that the lamp will be wedded to the wife of the lamp will be wedded. But what most people misinterpret with this is that they think that the wife of the lamp is basically the church, but it isn't the church. The lamp will be wedded to a physical human being, which is the lamp's wife, a physical person, which is the lamp's wife. So this can be a shocking thing, which I tell you, but when it is shocking, you may find it is the truth, because this is not the narrative which people tell you. This is a different narrative that it is shocking. It is maybe this small, maybe a few people know it, or maybe a few people know it. So Revelation 19, it states clearly that people are rejoicing in heaven, people are rejoicing. So, and also in Revelation 19 onwards, we see that the wife is prepared for the bridegroom, which is the bridegroom is the lamp. So there will be a wedding and supper for the lamp and the wife, where a wedding will take place, where these two will get married. And many people think this is the church, where it's waiting for people for it to be married with the lamp, waiting for the second coming. But it isn't that. It is just the physical, because some things in the Revelation, it's not symbolic. Some things in the Revelation are just straightforward. It's just straightforward. You just look at them as straightforward. Not everything is spiritual. So in Revelation chapter 19, the marriage of the supper happens, and the bride and lamb get married. Real, a man and a woman getting married. So in Revelation 19, where we see the description of Revelation 19, according to some versions of the Bible, it says the heavenly warrior defeats the beasts. So Revelation 19 basically talks about Revelation 19 basically talks about a vision which was given to John. He saw out of the clouds a person, a rider in a white horse leading an army. Out of his mouth coming out of a sharp sword which he'll smite the nations and rule them with a rod of iron. Out of his mouth comes a sharp sword. His eyes are blaming fire. On his thighs is a on his thighs it is written, Kings of Kings and Lords of Lords. And with him he comes with a mighty army from heaven, from basically heaven, because this is a vision. But it doesn't mean basically they come from heaven, because this is a vision given to John. So John was having a vision and sees an army from heaven. It doesn't basically means that an army will come from heaven. It can also mean that an army will arise just from the earth, because as I had explained and told you, these are the things that will come. And Revelation, when you piece up these pieces together, and you see at Revelation 12, where this woman is giving birth to this child, and it basically says in Revelation 12 that this child will rule the world and rule and shepherd them with a rod of iron, with an scepter, and make them and shepherd them